Hi, Tyler.
How's it going?
I know it was reported that you came down when Matt Lee took his visit here. How involved do you plan to be in the team's pursuits and Mario's pursuit of offensive players in the portal? Do you want to be part of that process?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if he likes a guy, then he'll give me his number, and I'll definitely go reach out to him, talk to him, tell him what it's about here, and try to get those guys to come in here.
What do you think of that portal period, how important it is now?
Yeah, it definitely is important. I mean, you see your strengths and weaknesses in the spring and try to fill those spots when needed. You know, not even if it's a week, but like depth-wise. You know, we might be short on some depth in some positions, so definitely getting some guys in here would definitely help us.
How would you describe your comfort level with the offense now that the spring wrapping up?
Yeah, I feel very comfortable with it. Just seeing what the defense is coming with, and changing the play, changing some routes, and just understanding what he's trying to do is definitely come from here to here within the last 14 practices. So it's been good.
How do you think the rest of the guys in offense are learning the offense?
Yeah, they're learning it pretty good too. I think this is since I've been here with all the new coaches that I've had, probably the best that everyone's learned it. I think everyone's really locked in, really trying to get better and learn the offense quickly.
With the spring game tomorrow, just what are you most excited for, and what's your goal out of all of it?
Yeah, just go out there, have fun. Most importantly, show what we've been doing all spring to all the fans out there. So, but also get a really balanced game going, run and pass. So, I'm excited to see that.
We know you have a great rapport with X, but are there any guys that just from this spring you feel like you got really good work with, really some good chemistry?
Yeah, Kobe Young. You see him working over there on the jug machines. Just really connected with him a lot this spring, and he's really come a long way since he got here last summer. So, he's going to play a very important role this fall for us, and I'm excited to see that for him.
And we just talked to Kamren Kinchens. Just how have you seen him improve as a player over the last month or two? How have you seen him kind of improve as a leader, maybe since last season ended?
Yeah, Cam was young last year. I mean, he was only a sophomore, winning All-American, which is incredible. But yeah, he's really taken a step as a leader. He's the guy around here, so he'll take that defense to another level, make sure everyone's doing the right thing. And on the field, he's very impressive, making plays all around. Whether it's in the coverage game or run game, he's doing everything out there.
What about your tight ends? Who's been stepping up there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few guys. I mean, Cam's been good. He's dealing with a little something right now with his calf, but he's been good, really good, really strong blocker, strong pass catcher too. So I'm excited to see him when he's back with us. Julio's been good. I think he's taking the next step. There's still a good way to go with him. Still getting bigger, but he's definitely become one of the guys up top in that room. So, and then obviously you got the freshmen, Riley and Jackson. They've been good as well.
Tyler, can you give us an assessment of the two freshman receivers, what Joseph does well, what Washington does well?
Yeah, I think they're actually very similar players, very fast. They might be one of the fastest guys on the team they brought in. So, they've been good, have great separation on their routes, just very savvy with it. They're not robots. They just play ball, which is good to see, catch the ball really well. So they're going to have a bright future.
Tyler, what's excited you most about working with Shannon his first year here? How do you notice his approach? What excites you most about him as an individual?
Yeah, he's a great dude, so we connect really well. He just lets the quarterback play with freedom. You just have fun out there with each other. It's not just hardcore all the time. I mean, sometimes I get on you, but it's really about just having fun out there. And he just gives the freedom to me to go play and just play ball without really thinking.
After the spring game's over, what's next for you guys as a group? I know the coaches aren't out there really with you too much. What happens with your goals and stuff?
Yeah, just get back after spring ball and come in here and work every day, whether that's throwing, catching, in the weight room, just getting conditioned stronger and faster. So, really just having a great summer with each other, really connecting on all cylinders, whether it's, like I said, throwing, catching, and lifting and stuff like that.
Did you take off at all? Like, do you guys take a week or two off? Or?
Yeah, we'll take a break. I think it's a week or two they give us off. So sometimes you need that just to recalibrate yourself, and then we'll come back and really get to work.
meaning like weightlifting, conditioning, that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'll go home maybe for a week and maybe go somewhere else to go train somewhere, but just take a week off and, I mean, you're still working at home. It's not like you're just sitting on the couch, but just take a week off from here and then come back and get ready to go.
In what ways has this new defense tested you to help you develop and improve your game?
Yeah, I think it really tested me this spring and really helped me develop. You know, I think Guidry brings a lot of stuff, whether it's cover zero, free safety blitz, nickel blitz, all these different twists on the front. So just checking stuff, really seeing that has really been helpful. In the past, it's just been very vanilla in the spring, and I think when we get to the fall camp, it really speeds up for us. Not only me, but just everyone, even on the offensive line. So I think it's been good that we've seen everything. So when we get to fall camp and even in the games in the fall, then we'll be ready to prepare for those situations.
Tyler, how about
Last question.
a lot of people have mentioned him this spring, but
Who's that?
Isaiah
Isaiah
Horton.
Horton.
I mean, that's happened before here in the springtime, and then it doesn't happen in the fall. Talk about his progression, and do you think he can help you in September?
Yeah, he's definitely going to help us. You know, he's a big body receiver, fast, good hands. Still a young kid, but he's definitely come a long way since he came in last summer. So I'm excited to see how he grows and develops, and he's already done some really good stuff in the spring. So I'm just going to make sure I stay on him because, like you just said, but yeah, he's definitely growing and continuing to develop.
So yeah, just with basically the entire spring in the books now, how do you feel like you and the rest of the offense have been picking up Coach Dawson's offense?
I think every day we're getting better and we're developing, and we can see it out on the practice field. On top of that, with defense as well, they're getting better and they're putting in a lot of multiple fronts and this and that. And it's been a little bit of an iron sharpens iron thing. Some days defense might come on top, some days offense might come out on top. But nonetheless, every single day, I think every unit on the offense, definitely the offensive line and the receivers and TVD and the quarterbacks and the running backs and tight ends, each day has been another step in progression.
A lot of your teammates crazy. A lot of your teammates are just crazy just for how good you are to pick up and all the other, just reading out the defense, calling out the signals. I'm curious, how much are you maybe mentoring some of the younger guys when they will have to fill your shoes or God forbid you go out for a play, to step into your role? Who do you think is doing the best job of that?
Of
backing you up at that center position?
Yeah, I think, right now in all the spring, Ryan Rodriguez has been running with the true center. And from a mental standpoint, because the game's a little bit different when you're a center. Not that other guys, Jalen can come play center, absolutely, he's smart enough to do that. But the mental understanding to play center it's a little bit of a next step compared to playing guard or tackle in most other positions. But I think Ryan's done a great job on the mental side, and he might make a mistake here and there, but he's gotten a lot better and he's developed a lot. And I've absolutely been trying to mentor him. And everybody, all the young guys, it's not just the centers, it's the tackles, and a lot of that comes into mentoring a guy on how to work. It's not always what you say, a lot of it is what you do. So sometimes it's leading by example and pushing guys to keep working. And it's like, yeah, I'm tired too. Let's go. This is how you got to get better.
Francis obviously has been with the ones a lot at right tackle. How is he different from a typical freshman?
Yeah, in many ways. Francis, since he came in, since I really met him and started working with him January 17th or whatever that day was, he's about that tall. Big dude. Wide, big, strong guy. Athletic as hell. And he's like 325, 330 pounds. So he don't look like that. He's big, but he doesn't have the stomach. He's a physical specimen, absolutely. And then I think what really separates him from, on top of that, as a freshman, he's 17 years old. He still technically could be in high school already, early enrolled. But he plays with big eyes. He doesn't play with blinders. He uses the peripherals. And from a mental standpoint and being able to point out and get us around the right page if it's something that he has to do, he's a lot more advanced than you would think a early enrollee 17-year-old freshman.
He's coaching your ball. Just how's it working under him, and what has he loved so far during the spring?
A bunch of stuff, absolutely, and technique and schematics and a bunch of, more in-depth stuff like that, because he's definitely a technician and he understands offensive line play and football to a very high degree. But working with him, he really pushes us, right? He's like, he's going to love on you, and he's going to be your biggest fan, but he's also going to be your biggest critic, and he's going to point stuff out because, you know, as he says, you know, he owes that to us, right? He's trying to work to get us better. So it ain't he ain't coming after you if he's getting after you. He's trying to push you, but he every day he brings his A game. He freaking elevates the group, elevates the whole offense because of his attitude and how he approaches it, and his mental understanding of football.
What are your battles like with the defensive line? Is there anyone who's standing out on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I think there's multiple guys. You know, I think for one, he's a younger guy, Ahmad Bowden. I think he was just a freshman last year, and from the beginning of spring and this offseason, running through this whole spring, I think he's gotten a lot better. He's a lot more aggressive, and he's a lot more, you know, when he's tired, he's like, it doesn't matter, right? He's going to push through it, which I think he's developed a lot. I think Jake, coming back off his injury, Lichtenstein, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Jake, he's a big, strong guy. I take a lot of reps against him. On the edge, not a lot of guys that I'm going to go against as much, but I think, especially as a guy that I believe was a freshman last year or maybe the year before, Nigel Lee Kelly, he gets after it. That guy, he's going to be a real good player for us. And there's multiple other guys, you know, that I could talk about. But really, I think that whole unit, that defensive line unit, with both coaches, Coach Taylor and Coach Joe, have done a great job.
The looks that Lance Guidry throws at you guys as a front, how much does that help with the communication and just getting on the same page?
It's really good because he runs a lot of stuff, a lot of complicated stuff, a lot of different fronts, a lot of stuff that you probably wouldn't know what to do until you go against it and you get told by your coach, like, okay, this is how we got to block this. And I say it's really good because a lot of teams don't run, they're not as multiple as he is running his defense. So a lot of teams are going to run a lot of base defense, and they might pop here, and they might do this, and they might just have a few other fronts. They might just go, you know, even, and they might go on, and they might go there. But stuff isn't as complicated. There's a lot more base defense. Going against his defense on a daily basis, they're running a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff can be confusing if you're not on your stuff, not on your shit. So going against that every day is a lot better, and through camp leading up to the season, because a lot of teams aren't going to be as multiple as that, and it gets you that much more ready.
Matt, who was second for you essentially in the portal competition, and how meaningful was it to you that Tyler came down from Connecticut to be with you on your visit?
Yeah, I don't think there really was a second. I think it was kind of, there was, you know, thoughts here and there, but from the start to the time I committed and through now, it was kind of always Miami. It was kind of always a no-brainer for various reasons. And then TVD, Tyler coming down on a visit, I didn't know he was coming down at first, and then when we met up at dinner and all that and spent those two nights and days together, it was awesome because it showed me, you know, he's the starting quarterback and he's on vacation in Connecticut, and he's like, damn, I'm going to fly down to visit this guy, having 3-4 hours, however long that flight is. And I think it also showed me that Tyler's he's a mature, he's a serious, he's a smart, he's a good dude, you know, that I'd love to have as my quarterback.
Off Cam, just coming in and seeing your name up there with all the Gracies, how's that make you feel?
Great feeling. I don't really try to pay too much attention for it. You know, we got more work to do. Self-goals ain't really nothing. Yeah.
We've heard good things about Markeith this spring. Where in your eyes has he improved? In what areas?
Every area. And it's just like we just coming in last year, you just know he could do big things for the team. And you just really seeing him kind of take control of the defense and as if it's his own. And just getting comfortable in the play calls. Yeah, just taking that next step.
How similar or different is the new defense because you guys have been installing? How quickly do you feel you've taken to it?
Well, it's very different, I feel. He got like a lot of more, I guess, different things we could do. You know, last year it wasn't too much we did. This year I think it's kind of like all over the place. Like we got a little bit of everything. And it's kind of easy to grasp. You just take repetition.
Cam, how do you think you've grown as a leader on the team? You know, maybe compared to this time last year.
Very different. Last year was just more of like put my head down, just making sure self is doing good before everybody else. But now it's like I got to bring along everybody with me. So it's like even though I might be in the front, I got to make sure it's 5 more people with me to the front so they can kind of like help everybody else come along.
How are the guys picking up the new system? And last year that was a little bit of a problem at times. How's that going this spring?
I think everybody's getting extra work to make it easier because of course if you didn't do nothing extra, it's gonna always be hard to kind of like grasp a new defense, especially it's a lot.
and they got a lot to go into it. So everybody's coming together. D-line's coming meeting after, linebackers meeting after, DBs meeting after. They're just trying to make sure everybody on one accord.
So are you finding that on the field it's smoother?
Yes.
You're not having butts out there?
Of course you have butts and everything. It's practice. You're going to make mistakes. But at the same time, we're willing to come back and find our corrections and get extra work and make sure it don't happen again.
Yeah, what's your objective for the spring game? What do you hope to see out of yourself and your teammates?
Just giving great effort, making sure we're grasping the playbooks, and just going out there competing, showing the world we're ready to compete.
Following that up, what are you most excited about for tomorrow?
Yeah, just to compete. We already done seen with everybody else. It's just to kind of put the world on notice to see where we at.
Cam, what excites you most about working with Lance Guidry, given that it's his first year here? He's starting to develop a style for the program. How excited are you to work with that style as well?
It's been great. He brings a lot of energy, and he's a safeties coach too, so we kind of get that energy 24/7. And he's similar to Coach Adai. He doesn't let us fall off at one point. He always on you. He's like a fire right behind your butt, so you always on your feet.
How do you notice he and Coach Adai have adapted well together and kind of connected with the spring game coming up?
Yeah, it's been great. They kind of working hand in hand, so it's been good.
In what ways have these past 14 spring practices been valuable for you in the DB room?
Just working on leadership and just making sure everybody learning the playbook the same. So just making sure I can get in extra more than everybody else to kind of make sure I know what I'm doing. So if a guy doesn't know what he got, I can kind of help him, because if we learning at the same pace, then I don't know if you don't know. So it's kind of making sure I'm 2 steps ahead.
From your perspective, what receivers taking the biggest jump this spring?
I couldn't lie to you, all of them, literally all of them. Jacoby, Kobe, Isaiah Horton. Restrepo has always been that good, so he's steady improving. But it's Ray, you got Robbie, literally all our receivers are taking the next step, and it's great to see.
How much more is this new offense testing you guys vertically compared to last year's?
I don't know, in practice it was always kind of more, but I think they're taking us more vertical this year, rather than last.
What's it like for you as a safety? Everyone's talked about Ray and Robbie, especially in their speed going up against them in practice.
Shoot, you can't do nothing but you can't complain. If anything, it's making me better. Getting different receivers. We already got fast receivers like Brashad, and you got shifty receivers like Restrepo. So it's kind of bringing speed to it, especially Ray. Ray is so small and swifty. It kind of just help you build on your own game.
Cam, after the spring game, what are your goals? What's next?
Make sure my body's fully healthy. Make sure mentally good. Making sure I'm getting more into the playbook so I can understand everything. Kind of start to learn the box, D-line, stuff like that. Take my game to the next level.
How about for the whole team? What happens next?
Just making sure we don't take a step back and just regress, even though we took all this progress throughout spring. Don't let these few weeks that we might not be out there actually physically practicing to let it take away from the mental side of the game.
How do you do that? Last question. I'm sorry, to not make sure they've let it lapse.
Just getting any time together. It could be out here just walking through something, or going upstairs to watch extra film, or see our mistakes, or kind of just go through whole spring again, and just kind of redo the install with ourselves, as a DB group or whichever group.